Good morning, Samantha. Good morning, Bubbles. Good morning, Vivian. Your name is Cornbread. Doodle's curious about cornbread. This question comes from Philip Agenko. I am sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Hello, Brendan. I started following you a long time ago, and I was always inspired to go and have a great tricking session. I saw you ruptured your Achilles 2 years ago, and I faced the same problem this year. I was ruptured my left Achilles and upper portion, and I wanted to ask you some questions since you have had a positive result in your rehab journey. How does it feel now? We're gonna go through all that because I wanna let you guys know what it's like and how it feels now that I'm about 2.5, 3 years from my Achilles tear. It feels a lot better. So, when I got my Achilles done, I got some bone screws in my heel. That is the thing that I feel most often than anything else, especially as it comes time to winter season. You know, there's a little bit of arthritis in there, it's a little old. These ankles ain't as young as they used to be, so to speak. But they're doing just fine. They're helping me move around and I'm able to move on them. Don't get me wrong. There is pain, there is feeling, and there is sensation from where there's new threads in my calf and from where the bone screws were in my ankle. The big thing that helped me especially get through all of that was even when it's painful, even when it's not the most comfortable, we have to do our rehab and our prehab and all of the exercises that help our body heal. So that answers the first question. But the second one, do you have any restrictions in your ankle? And if so, and if no, I apologize. So when did they disappear? So one of the most common restrictions people have in their ankle coming off of a Achilles tendon repair is not being able to lift their foot well off the ground. And to this day, I will still have a little bit of pain and sensation when doing a strong pull up of the foot. And I'll feel little pins and needles right there, but that is pain that does not stop motion. There's two different types of kind of things that will hold you back after an injury to a major joint. There is going to be a physical thing, and then there is a mental thing or a pain thing. The pain thing for me lifting my ankle will kind of never go away because there's threads here now fighting that. As I try and pull up with this muscle, there's new threads on the back of my Achilles that are trying to pull it down. So there's a constant push and pull going on in my Achilles muscle or my Achilles tendon, which then brings to the calf muscle. So that is the only kind of, I guess, restriction that I genuinely feel from the Achilles tendon injury is it's harder for me to pull my ankle up. It's harder for me to do this with my foot on my own volition if I'm using my own muscles. If like my foot is here and I'm stepping onto something, it'll naturally be able to dorsiflect, but if I actually try and pull with that, there is a slight issue. And I have done a ton of conditioning of the muscles right here to pull that leg up. But no matter how much I condition these muscles, I'm not taking these threads out, they're not going anywhere. So that is the only real restriction that I feel right now with my Achilles and specifically the Achilles. And what exercises helped you the most to get the full calf engagement in the last inches of the calf raise? So that is one of the biggest issues that people have coming off of an Achilles tendon tear, is their calf is not able to raise their body all the way off the ground. And there is like a half raise, or the heel gets about an inch off the ground, but that last little push is really, really, really hard to build back into the body. The big exercise, the exercise that I recommend to everybody coming off of almost any major injury, slow, thoughtful movement and walking. When we walk, we naturally lift the ankle up. It's not just a drop flat foot. There is a lift up of the ankle, a placement of the heel, a slight roll to the toes, and then a forward motion. Getting this slow walk, focusing on getting the heels and the toes off the ground. Notice that I'm not moving quick. I'm moving real slow. Once you get used to just comfortable walking, start moving your body and getting a little bit of motion into it. So there is a huge neurological change that needs to happen within your body after an injury like that. When your muscles tear, if I'm pulling my bicep and my bicep just snaps, this tendon, boom, this muscle will turn off, so to speak. And you gotta turn that muscle back on. And I find slow walking and a lot of very low impact exercises with low resistance to be the best for repairing tendons and things of that nature that have snapped. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm just a dude who's healed. So that is what I would really strongly recommend. You can always use TENS units to kind of artificially add electric stimulation to the muscle and get it to fire that way. That is also a huge beneficial thing, but don't overcomplicate any of this. Literally, exercise, simple movements. If you're struggling with that dorsal flexion, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't overcomplicate any of these exercises. When you're rehabbing, just do, and do with the thought of your physical therapist, with the thought of your team, hopefully that you have. If you don't have a team, go rogue, go online, go deep, and ask people like me, ask as many people as you can from their experience and how that can benefit you. So you also wrote to me, I feel so limited in my ankle, and it feels like my calf is not fully engaged in the last few inches of a standing calf raise. Bless you. I want to let you know, that's normal. It literally took me about 1.5 years for my calf raise to not only get to the full length, but to get to a very, very, very close metric to my other Achilles. And to get my other Achilles to relax, I had to let it somewhat atrophy from as strong as it was back when I was tricking and moving and competing. It is a long process. Do not rush an Achilles tendon injury. Do not rush an ACL tear. Bear in mind, the only reason I recover so good from injuries like this is because I've had so damn many. I have had a wrist fully reconstructed, a knee reconstruction, and an ankle reconstruction, all on my right side. So I feel comfortable with injuries like this only because I've had so many, and no one wants that. So please do your best to take the pressure off, take the tension off. There's no rush. There's a cat fight going on behind me. There is no rush in getting your body healthy once again. Take your time. It's the best way to prevent future injury or recurring injury is a lot of patience. Finally, what about dorsiflexion? How do you regain the symmetry in your legs, and what was the most helpful exercises for me? All of them. There is not a single, for me to point to the most helpful exercise, that assumes there is a least helpful exercise. Every exercise is important. Do not look for the best exercise, the most helpful exercise, and do that 1,000,000 times. That's not going to help you. You need to do a wide range of exercises that involve your entire leg structure. Don't just focus on one that somebody online told you is going to be the best. Do all of them to the best of your ability, and you will heal the best. Thank you so much, man. I cannot tell you how much I get asked this question. And I am no superhero. I'm no mad scientist. I just did the protocol and did it well, and I followed what I was told while also remaining skeptical and making my own decisions along the way. That is the best kind of mindset to have when approaching a recovery like this. There's no best exercise. There's no worst exercise. There's a bunch of exercises that we are gonna have to do in order to heal, and all of them are good, as long as they're not causing extreme pain and we are doing them in the proper fashion. Do exercise. That's pretty much it. Slow walking, calf raises. Start with no weight, just the literal weight of this hunk of flesh that is your leg. Then slowly add in weight. There is no rush. When it comes to healing from any injury, if there's anything I can leave you with, don't rush. There's no best exercise. Do all the exercises and take your time. There's no pressure. The only pressure that is on us to heal is if we need to use our bodies to work and support our livelihood, or if, we have to compete. Hopefully one of those two things is not here, and the big thing that we can focus on is healing from what is genuinely a major injury, an Achilles tendon tear. Thank you for sending this in to me. If anybody else has any questions like this, please send them over. I will be answering them publicly, because that way I know I'm not the only one who's torn his Achilles. I know Philip is not the only one who's torn his Achilles. I know there's hundreds of trickers out there who have dealt with this. And I hope this video can find you, and I hope that you're able to heal just like I did, just like all the other trickers. We are trickers and we heal. Thank you. See you soon.